Hello, all, and welcome to Unexplained Possibilities. I'm Melvin, sometimes known as Melvin the Crimson Taurus, and as you can see, we have a new tarot deck. Now, before I get into it, I just want to say thank you to the person who sent this to me. This is one of two decks that was sent to me, and if you guys don't know what's going on, then just check out the update video. I'm not going to go over it here, but you could just check it out. It explains everything. But yeah, let's get into this. So, as you can see, this is the Supernatural Tarot deck, and it comes with a guidebook, and it's pretty freaking cool. As a fan of the show Supernatural, it's awesome having this deck. Got a giant smile on my face. Uh, I will do a flip through of the other deck that will come a little later. I actually used that one for a tarot the other day, and I have to put the cards back in order, which I've just not done yet. But anyway, this is about the Supernatural Tarot deck. This is what we care about. So, yeah, if you're a fan of Supernatural, then you're probably smiling like I am. And if you're not, well, I don't know what to tell you. Also, sorry for the weird angle. It's not much I can really do with that. I sort of have a bootleg setup, but hopefully it will suffice for now. But yeah, so ooh, does that pick up on mic? There we go. I just gave you guys some unintentional ASMR, as they would say. But anyway, yeah, so this is the box. Oh, bad angle, Melvin. This is the back of the box. No one cares about that. Just open the box. All right, so, and of course, I have this in backwards. This is our guidebook, and I do have to say that the guidebook is pretty freaking awesome. Let's take it out here. As you can see, the back of the cards, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the guidebook is very well done. As you can see, written by Minerva Siegel. Is it Siegel? Not Siegel. And Matthew Skiff. And they go over everything just brilliantly. Now, you might have just heard that. I don't know if it picked up on mic or not, but it was a bit of a crack. And that's the only issue I have with this guidebook right now. And I'm going to show you some of the minors real quick. Just skipping around just so you guys can get an idea of things, what it looks like. Again, sorry for the terrible angle. So cool how they have it though. Anyway, the issue I have with this guidebook is right in there. Yeah, this here. The glue, as you can see, did not hold, and this is brand new. And it wants to fall apart. It just wants to leave. Nothing too much you could do about it. That needs to be better. It could just be this particular guidebook for this thing. All of them may not be like that, but this is an issue. You shouldn't be able to, yeah. But I'll find some glue and glue it back myself. But other than that, I like the guidebook. It goes into details. It has, of course, the upright. Well, first, it gives you a little backstory on the characters from the show, which all the cards are characters from the show. And you have the upright and reversed meanings, which is pretty cool. Also, shout out to Jody. Or is that Don? No, this is Jody. Yeah, good lord. Haven't done this in a while. You can tell, can't you? Anyway, let's get to the cards and the flip through. And you're going to see my fanboy come out, so forgive me. So, back of the cards, it's reversible. And I think that is Enochian from the show. And as far as the texture and the feel of the cards, they're very smooth. Not matte, but very smooth, pleasing, fairly easy to shuffle, which I'm not going to shuffle because everything's in order and I don't want them to come out of order. I love the feel of it. It feels Not exactly the same as the Brady Tarot, but similar. It just has that good feeling. The cardstock is a little thick, which I like. Like most women like it thick. I like my cards thick. So, yeah, show the guys here. Will this work? I think this will work. Again, sorry for the terrible angle. All right, there we go. That's what you got. That's what we're working with here. So the fools, as you can see, the main characters, Sam and Dean Winchester, makes sense that they are the fools. It is their journey after all. And I love the blue tint that's over there and a little bit of the red outline and all of that, walking that road. So cool. And I will say that if you are a fan of the show, these cards will probably resonate more with you than someone who is not a fan and they just was like, I'm saying this because I feel like being a fan of the show, knowing the show very well, and seeing the characters as the excuse me, as the major or minor arcana, you can establish that personality to and get a different meaning, blah blah blah. So our magician is Chuck, and no spoilers, but this is such a perfect guy to be the magician. Rowena, our high priestess, also very good representation, and this is probably where more color would have been better for Rowena because she is a feisty redhead, and I always love redheads in tarot. It's just something about the red that pops. But she's good as the high priestess. The Empress, Mary Winchester, also makes sense if you've watched the show and know her character. She's very tough, she's very independent. She's made some questionable decisions, but she's also the mother of Sam and Dean, the ill-fated mother, if you will. That's not a spoiler, by the way. It's literally in the first episode. John Winchester, the Emperor, again, makes sense. He's the father of Sam and Dean, and he was their leader. He's the one who set the ground rules, how you do this. He taught. He was very, very tough and again made some questionable decisions, but it was for the greater good. And every emperor has to do the tough thing when they're the leader. So, again, good, 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 good. This one, I'm not sure I agree with too much. This is the Hierophant, as you can see, and this is Billy the Reaper. And Billy's an interesting character. Uh, she I don't know how to explain her very much, but she should have stayed mysterious. I understand why she is the Hierophant. It's because of the knowledge she carries, and she is usually a messenger of some sort. But I feel like they could have had a better Hierophant. I don't think she fits the mold too much, even though I understand why she's there. I think they could have done better. The lovers, Jess and Sam from season one, episode one. And this is interesting because for a reading, I would actually not see this as a positive. And again, I'm using influence from the show for this. If this came up in in a love reading for me, I would probably say not good. But I doubt I would use this deck for a love reading. This deck would be for general and other things, but darn good pick, Jess and Sam. Makes perfect sense. The chariot, of course, has to be the Impala. And here's the cool thing again, on that road, and that's a major theme of the show, and that's a major theme in tarot where life takes you going from point A to point B. Where will you go? How do you get there? Blah, blah, blah. And the chariot is strong. It takes a beating, but it keeps on going. It's never going to fail you. It's safety. So the Impala as the chariot, only way to do it. Benny the Vampire as strength. This is again one of those questionable ones where I'm not sure Benny fits this very well. I like Benny the character, but I don't think he should be the strength card. Although I understand why they would put him here because he had to persevere a lot. And I won't go into spoilers for the show, but he went through a lot and he did have to dig deep and show how strong he was. But I feel that there's other characters that better fit the strength tarot. And I'm kind of bummed that they don't have a little cat companion or something. But funnily enough, Benny was sort of a companion for a bit. So I don't know. I think the strength could have been a little bit different. The Hermit, of course, Bobby Singer. It just has to be perfect. Um, it's interesting because how I envision this hermit, it's not necessarily a shut everyone out and close down because Bobby didn't shut everyone out. I mean, yes, he was solo, but he didn't shut everyone out. He was researching, he was helping from afar, from a distance. So when I see this hermit, I feel like, and again, I'm using the supernatural characters for the meanings here, not necessarily the traditional tarot. I'm seeing like, hey, do your research, wisen up. You don't have to shut out the world, just help it from a distance. Take a step back so you can learn more in order to help others and so on and so forth. And don't be so grumpy, idiots. The Wheel of Fortune is a rabbit's foot, and if you watch the show, you'll very much understand why it's a rabbit's foot. And this rabbit's foot, it acts more like a monkey's paw or claw. Is it monkey's paw or claw? I can't remember. Well, anyway, this being the Wheel of Fortune makes absolute 100% sense because it can bring you good fortune, but it can bring you, or rather, it can cause misfortune depending. So, Rabbit's Foot, Wheel of Fortune, makes sense. It works. Here we have Donna, Justice. Uh, I I don't know about this. Donna is a fine character and everything, but I don't think this is a good pick for Justice because of her personality and what she does. I mean, she's very fair, though. I will say that she is very fair, but she doesn't have the strength of Justice to me. I feel Jody Mills would fit better for Justice if they were going to go that route versus Donna, but it is what it is. So here's our Justice. The Hangman, Castiel. This this makes sense. Poor guy. Um, this is being caught between your beliefs and your obligations. When you know something is wrong, but you're obligated to go through with it. This is one of the most complex characters on a complex card, the Hangman. I always find the Hangman complicated because it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, you messed up and everything falls apart. And it doesn't always mean that you're caught in the middle, but it does mean that you're in conflict of some sort. And Castiel, perfect hangman. Deaf is deaf. This is actually, if you haven't seen the show, Death from Supernatural, and he's one of the best characters ever. And this Death, it's something cool, calm, and deadly about him. He has this uncaring confidence. And what that means is he sees you as insignificant. You are nothing. And that's what death is. We are insignificant to death because all things die and wither. It's part of the life cycle. And when you've been alive for eons, then it's like, been there, done that. You're nothing to me. And this death is sophisticated, uncaring, and yet still teaches those lessons. So, death could only be death. Temperance, Jody Mills. Now, I honestly feel like Jody and Temperance don't mix. I feel Jody should be Justice and Donna would be a better Temperance because Donna is going to more be the one more likely to follow the rules and everything and try to figure out how to break them and balance it out in that sense. I think they messed up here. I think they should be swapped. But anyway, whatever. That's regardless. That's going into the show, which one day I would like to talk about Supernatural. But Jody is Temperance. I don't think it works too well, but I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. I just don't like her as Temperance. That's what it boils down to. The devil. The devil is actually Lucifer, and he's in his cage. And it's nothing more to say than yes, this works. Lucifer is an interesting character on the show because at one point he's very sophisticated, calm, scary, threatening, but then he's psychotic as I don't know what and whiny and everything. And it's like, what happened here? So this devil feels more like the sophisticated version of him, which I prefer. And he's in the cage and everything, which is brilliant. Now, usually the cage is a metaphor of you're the one who locked yourself in here. You can walk out at any time. In the devil's case for Supernatural, not so much, but I do like that we can see the symbolism here, and Lucifer, of course, can only be the devil. Amara, the darkness, as the tower makes sense. It makes sense because, well, slight spoilers here. The darkness, if the light creates, the darkness destroys. And it destroys not out of maliciousness, but it's its nature. We can't move forward, we can't build up, we can't have love without experiencing hurt, heartache, without things breaking, without us failing so we can learn. It's a balancing act. So this tower to me, even though it's the darkness, isn't a bad tower. This is one of the few positive towers to me because it's about overcoming obstacles, getting through them and the hardships, and not necessarily, oh, your life is completely falling apart, nothing you can do, bye bye. It's that type of thing. The star, Jack, and this makes sense. I'm just not a fan of Jack, and the star is for me out with the old, in with the new, and it very much fits Jack's role. So I get it. I just don't like the character, but I wish that the star here was more expressive. I wish it was just something a little different, or it had water or something like that. This one feels too plain, but I get like maybe more stars is needed, but it just feels like it's missing something. The moon, Gabriel, also makes sense. I'm trying to say this without giving spoilers. This is very difficult. The unseen, seeing what's there, but not really seeing what's there with the moon, being tricked as you will, and maybe needing to open up your eyes, seeing things from a different angle, a different point of view, and sometimes even accepting certain things are inevitable. So this moon fits Gabriel, or Gabriel fits this moon. It's just perfect. And I wouldn't change this for the world. Oh, and I like how it has the moon site, the moon phases here. I didn't notice that before. That's actually really cool. So that's pretty awesome. The sun, Charlie. So Charlie became a fan favorite, and I'm not entirely sure why. I'm not the biggest Charlie fan, or you know what? It's not that I'm not a fan of Charlie. I'm not a fan of Felicia Day. That's what it is. But this is the sun, as you can see, and bringing that light, bringing hope, bringing an innocence and a youthful naivety that is needed in life. That's what I get from this. So Charlie for the sun, it's an okay pick. I think I would actually swap Charlie with Jack. I think I would rather make Jack the sun and Charlie the star. I think they both could work that way, but I guess if you make Jack the sun, then it's you could have some biblical repercussions, I guess. But whatever. Um, but yeah, it's okay. Charlie being the sun, I get it. Adam or Michael, Mike Adam. Yeah, Judgment. You know, I love Judgment, and he definitely has that judgy face, doesn't he? He just grr, I will smite thee. You know, he's PO'd about something, and it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I won't go into spoilers. Again, if you've not seen Supernatural, go see it. You'll understand. Those of you who have seen Supernatural, you get it. And Adam Michael being Judgment, it works beautifully. And this Judgment, it's something about its quietness, but it's powerful. You can just look at it. He's powerful. He doesn't have to destroy. He doesn't have to have flame shooting out of his hands. He just exudes power, authority, and it's like I have command over you, and it fits so well. So good Judgment. And finally, for the major arcanas anyway, the world. Again, the boys in the Impala going down that road, that endless open road, and it it fits. It works so well. And I like that you can see the rear view mirror. They still have the red there. So it's pretty cool that they have that red outline and everything, even though it's mostly that bluish tint and those colors. Like it's just so good. But this this is the world. This is the life. It is the journey. There is no destination in sight. It's endless. And that's the cycle as well. It is an endless cycle that may change, but it's no end. It's like you keep going, you keep growing, learning, or regressing, depending on the person. But that is what it is. And hook up with friends, family, girls along the way, whatever you're into, and try to enjoy the ride. All right, on to the minors. So I believe bones are wands, and everything else seems to be more traditional. Like, but the bones, when I first saw it, I was like, what the heck's a bone? But I'm pretty sure bones are wands. Anyway, our king of bones here is Metatron, the person who wrote all of God's will down. And it's very interesting that he's the king of bones because I think it works since he's a scribe, and traditionally the king of wands tends to sit down and look at his work and all of that. And, that's what writers do as well. So Metatron being the king of bones, I think it works. Sorry, thought I had picked up two cards there accidentally for some reason. The Queen of Bones, Lilith. Um, I don't know if this is a good pick or not, but it is a pick. And I always consider the Queen of Wands witches and whatnot, and very powerful women in their own right. And Lilith is extremely powerful, conniving, and you don't want to mess with. She will get you back. And she didn't do witchcraft exactly in the show, but I kind of see what they're getting at. So, yeah, maybe Lilith works. I'm unsure, as you can tell. Eileen, the Knight of Bones. So, picked up two there. Sorry. Hey, stop it. Eileen is very intelligent. I think she was mute, like deaf mute or something. I don't know. It was something about her speech. So I think she was mute and deaf. Forgive me, it's been a while. I don't agree with her being the Knight of Bones. I don't even agree with her being in this deck. Uh, I mean, yeah, she's intelligent and everything, but when I think of the Knight of Wands, Knight of Bones, I think of someone more actiony and getting their hands wet and going for it. And I think a better pick for this would have been Gordon from, I think he was in season 3 and 4, played by Sterling K. Brown. I think he would have been a better Knight of Bones, aggressive in their pursuit, strong. Eileen is just sort of there. I don't think she should be a bone. Here we have not Joe, Claire. Claire is another one where it's Claire Novak. It's like, you're kind of just here as the Page of Bones. Now, that's actually fitting, her being the Page of Bones. That fits. I just don't like the character. No fault of her own. It's she was just handed a bad hand. But when we see pages, we look at people who are new into something. They are ready to go on this adventure and do whatever. So her being the Page of Bones, yeah, I guess. I just don't like the character. I don't know. I feel like they could have had a different character, but she works. All right. So now I forgot to say this at the beginning, but this is also a pip deck, which is pretty cool. So it's a mix of traditional imagery, traditional, not traditional, but imagery of humans and pips. So Ace of Bones, as you can see, it's fire, which is why it's like, okay, these are wands essentially. What is that, a femur? Could you imagine cracking someone upside the head with that? Are two. Oh, ho, ho, the mother of all monsters, Eve, as the three of bones or wands. I think she's rather fitting because I see the three of bones or wands as the action card. No thinking. We've already planned this out. It's time to do. Let's get it on. Let's go for it. I don't care what's in my way. And she's kind of like that. She should have had a bigger role, in my opinion, but yeah, so good choice. Our four of bones, our five of bones, Zachariah, which, um, yeah, because we're looking at conflict here. And he was definitely started some conflict. So yeah, this is a good choice. And Zachariah is interesting. He was trying to do what he thought was right, just went about it in the wrong way and caused the bigger stink. And sometimes when it comes to arguments and fighting, especially amongst friends and families, it starts off from something with someone thinking they're doing the right thing, but it causes issues. So him being the five, I that fits. I think that's a good choice. Ash as the six of Bones. Ash is a fan favorite character, and six is we see as victory, and Ash did lead quite a few people to victory. Intelligent, having that information, passing on, even though he has a mullet and he's kind of weird, but it works. So I think it's okay. That's not too bad. Well, it's not bad at all. Our seven of bones. I don't know if this ever happens to you guys, but I can't help but think of those old chili commercials with the boneless buffalo wings. I want the bone, boneless buffalo wings. What is this? What is this? The eight or nine? Eight. Sorry, I got mixed up. Thinking about buffalo wings. Yeah, so our eight of bones is usually victory happening fast, coming through. Hey, get in there. Our nine of bones is Raphael. And this is a very, very interesting choice. Wait, where's our 10? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a very, very interesting choice because it works so well. Without going into spoilers for the show, our nine is about moving past the hurt and trying to heal and overcome. And Raphael, from a certain point of view, is trying to do that with heaven, just going about it not the best of ways. It's so cool though. So when it comes to the minors, I think he's Helm and Metatron are the best fits. Oh, actually, Helm, Metatron, and Castiel, who has returned, and the Ten of Bones in this case, it's a weight. It's heavy. You're carrying that burden, and Castiel fits this so good here. So good choice, whoever decided this. And he has the weight of the world on his shoulders, and it's not going to be lifted off of him anytime soon. So if this were to come up in a reading and it's upright, I was like, ah, shoot, you're going through mess. You're dealing with it. You got this weight on you, and you're trying to figure out when it will end, when it will go away. And if it came up in reverse, then it's like, okay, the weight's being lifted. You're healing from whatever issues you had to deal with. You're forgiving yourself, that type of thing. So, uh, good choice, Castiel as the Ten of Bones. All right, moving on into pentagrams, which are pretty much pentacles. So, this is the easy one. The King of Pentagrams, Crawley. Excellent choice. Crowley is a businessman, and of course, pentagrams or pentacles. We initially think financial, stubbornness, growth, opportunity. That's Crowley. So this works so good. And it's a sophistication about him as well. He's always been sophisticated and slimy, but intelligent and all about the business. So this was darn good touch. And I hope you guys are seeing this okay. And now that I'm halfway through and taking over 40 minutes to do this, of course, there will be some editing done, but still. Uh, who the heck is this? The Queen of Pentagrams. Who are you? Okay, so this is an Gosh, I can't pronounce this name. Ananel. She is an angel. I don't remember her. I do, but I don't. But she is our queen, and I need to study up on her because I don't know what to make of this. Um, I want to say she did something with the church or something like that. I think she did something with the church or business, but yeah, I can't tell you if this is a good choice or not because I don't remember her. So we're just going to whoop right on to the next person. So forgive me on that. Our Knight of Pentacles. This is so good. The yellow-eyed demon himself, Azazel. This is someone who is all about his business, and even though the plan took decades, he carried it out, and that's what a knight does. He gets the job done no matter how long it takes. And Azazel being the knight of pentagrams, perfect. Mind you, yes, he is an evil looking character because he is evil, but he carried out his business. So we have to look beyond the good bad here and look at how strategic you are if you're capable of getting through the hard stuff to get the job done, get to that destination or whatever. So, good choice. The Ghost Facers. I can't think of these guys' name, Harry and someone else. Yeah, as the pages, this is so perfect because they are paranormal investigators, but they don't really know what's up. And they're introduced into certain things and they're learning and seeing, like, oh my gosh, this is real, this is scary, just like a page should. And being that it's pentagram, you're stubborn too, so they don't want to accept certain things right away. And it's like, no, I can do it my way, it's this way. And it's very interesting to see and look at. So good pick. All right, Ace of Pentagrams. So I always like to say that the Ace of Pentacles are like seeds and everything. And while this isn't exactly a seed, I can still see it sort of as beginning. But when from a supernatural context, when we think of pentagrams, we also think of witchcraft, a devil's trap, that sort of thing. And this is the beginning of it all, the start of it all. So the Ace of Pentagrams is pretty cool, especially, when you're drawing one and you're about to start your magical work. So not quite a seed, but still the beginning. Arthur Ketch, British man of letters, the two of pentagrams, and it's fitting. He is about his business, but it's also about finding a balance between, again, loyalty and doing what's right. And this was a scary guy, so I don't know if he fits the two very well, but wait, I'm stupid. No, this isn't Ketch. You know who this is, guys? This is Henry, the men of letters, American. Ketch is, yeah, not Ketch. This is Henry. Sorry, forgive me. Henry Winchester. And he still had to find that balance between, oh gosh, that'll be a major spoiler. I won't say it, but he had to find a balance in his life, doing what's right versus doing what he himself wanted, even though it would change the course of history. Henry was a complicated, not a complicated character exactly, but he was such a likable character, and it explains a lot of what went down with him. But yes, him being the two of pentacle or pentagrams, it works because he is trying to find that balance, that understanding, and also not ruin things and having to navigate through a fish out of water scenario, we'll say. And now we're on one of the pips for our pentagrams, the three of pips, which is usually hard work, working with others, and sometimes it's someone not lifting their weight. This is Bella. Yeah, Bella, the four? Yeah, the four. So Talbot, the four of pentagrams, and the four is about protecting what is yours and being cautious of financial things. And it fits with Bella. Bella was a thief who very much was all about her. And it's trying not to get taken advantage of and being cautious to a degree, but also having to know when you have to let your guard down and ask for help. So, good choice. I had a wild crush on Bella, the actress who played her. I can't think of her name. Lauren Cohen, I think. Anyway, she's British. She's hot. Simple enough. I think she went on to work on The Walking Dead after Supernatural. She was going to. I know I'm going elsewhere right now. I know. I'm sorry, guys. She was going to. She was going to be a love interest for one of the boys, but the fans hated her so much. Mostly the girls. They did not like her, and so they gave her the boot. Anyway, five of pentagrams. Here we go. As you can see, our six of pentagrams. And who is this? Is this Arthur? I think this is Ketch. Our seven of pentagrams. So I don't know how I feel about Ketch being the seven because when I think of the seven, I think of putting in that work, but you're not at the top just yet. Although I guess, yeah, he wasn't at the top. And character wise, he's absolutely frightening. But he did have morals eventually. So, yeah, I guess he could work as the seven. And it is just being about your business and not slowing down, working hard, and having growth, but just not completely there yet. And is trying to figure it out, trying to invest in yourself. So, yeah, I think he can work somewhat as the seven. This is Joe as the eight of pentagrams, and I don't agree with her being the eight here. And the reason for that is because when I think of the eight of pentagrams or pentacles, this is your hard work paying off and making it, amassing, but still working hard. Sometimes it's needing to take a break and seeing, like, hey, look at what you've produced. Joe, to me, wasn't exactly like that. She was still young, immature, idealistic. Nothing wrong with being idealistic. It's just be it in the right way. And I don't know. I feel that this is a bad matchup, her being the eight of pentagrams. I think at this point someone said, oh, we got to have Joe in there, which she was a big character, but yeah, I think they messed up. Nine of pentagrams. This one's heartbreaking. The ten of pentagrams, Lisa and Ben, and tens. Ten of pentacles tend to deal with family, familiar growth, happiness, having that white picket fence, that type of thing. And that's what they represent for one of the characters. But in reverse, it's losing that. It's not having that, maybe never having that. And it takes so long to get it, to get your happy ending. So Lisa and Ben, perfect tens. And also Lisa's pretty hot too. Okay, so moving on to blades, which I guess are swords, simple enough. And we start off with the King of Blades, and that is Cain. Is that a mark on the card or the screen? Mark on the card. So Cain makes a lot of sense content wise for if you watch the show. And him being the king, yeah. When I think of the King of Swords, it's I'm not gonna deal with your BS. I'm just going to cut right through it and get to the point. And Kane pretty much exudes that. So, very good choice. Perfect. Naomi, Queen of Blades, perfect. Yet again. She is ruthless and she'll hear you out. She just won't really care and do what she's got to do. Very intelligent, probably can outthink the majority of people from the show, and she'll give you a chance to do right. But once you fell her, it's all over. She's doing her thing. So, Naomi, perfect Queen of Blades. Scary one, too. Abaddon, Knight of Blades. Again, perfect. Abaddon is crazy, as you can tell. I mean, look at this chick. And she is relentless. Her shirt says "The devil made me do it," by the way. And if you can't read it, and that can't be more perfect. Anyway, she does not stop. She, for the most part, can't be killed. And if she doesn't like you, you're going to die. She is an awesome character. And for the Knight of Blades, I think of someone who's going to charge forth, who isn't going to stop, and they're going to get across. This is her. She works. And she's actually a knight in the show, so works good. Our page of Blades, Kevin Tran. Uh, I don't think he fits a blade, but then saying that, we have to remember that swords deal with air element, the mind, and he is a very intelligent character, but extremely weak. And he had to figure out how to survive. So maybe he can work. Maybe I'm just being too harsh on him, but I don't know. I almost want to say he fits better as a page of cups than swords or blades in this case. But I can see why they put him there. So not terrible. And our pages, again, they tend to be younger, more immature, trying to figure it all out and get there. You know what? Maybe Joe should have been a page instead of the eight. Now that I said that aloud, Ace of Blades is the first blade with the mark of Cain. This is very fitting. It works extremely well, and its power comes with consequences. And not only that, but, do you accept it? Can you live with yourself? And this is opportunity as well, but you got to be aggressive. So, this is so fitting. As it stands, the blades have ah they have the most things right in my opinion. Are two of blades. Sort of looks like scissors, but those are angel blades. Um are three of blades. Oh my gosh, I can't think of this character's name, but it was such a tragedy with her. And this is perfect. She was turning into a werewolf, and the boys tried to find the cure and everything, and yeah, it just didn't happen. This is one of the most emotional episodes of Supernatural, and this is about heartache and loss and dealing with that. And of course, in reverse, it is showing like, hey, you're healing from it. Keep going, but upright. You're in the thick of it. That that hurt is severe and right then and there. Man, what is her name? I think it started with an M, but it'll come to me later. Our four blades, the different knives that they use to kill. Our five of blades is Meg, the second Meg. I didn't like the second Meg. I prefer the first Meg. And Meg became a fan favorite, and Yeah, she didn't do it for me. But people like her. And her being the five, uh, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I think I think because I don't really care for the second Meg, I don't have an opinion. I'm pretty indifferent. I just whatever. Our Six of Blades. Our seven is Ruby, the second Ruby, and eventually freaking Sam's wife. And when I say Sam, I mean the actor. Jared Padalecki married Genevieve. That's the actress's name who played Second Ruby. Second Ruby was not well liked compared to First Ruby. First Ruby, man, she played that role really good, and it was just no way Genevieve could just. She couldn't do better. It was impossible. But it's okay because it turned into a love story, and her and Jared got married, have some kids, and blah, blah, blah. But her being the Seven of Blades, uh, I think it works. I think it can work versus Meg, who the five, who is like just sort of there. The seven is I'm gonna get one over on you, sort of. Or am I getting that mixed up with the eight? I might be getting it mixed up with the eight. I think I am getting it mixed up with the eight. The seven is no, the seven is I'm gonna get one over on you, isn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the seven is being backstabbed, which it fits Ruby to a T, so it works. The eight is imprisonment, and this is Cheryl Charnice. I think her last name is Welch, but I can't remember the first. If it's Cheryl, I want to say Cheryl, but this is the big bad from the very first episode of Supernatural, and she was trapped, and that's what the eight is: self imprisonment to a degree. So this to me is perfect. She fits that category so well, and she has a tragic story. So yeah, good job. Our nine is Alistair. Torturous, anxiety, fear. Now, normally, the nine of blades or swords, it's someone experiencing that panic, that anxiety. In this deck, however, we have the reverse. It's someone, Alistair, giving it to you. So, this is an obstacle, an event in your life. It may not be going very well, and it's causing panic, fear, anxiety, and you're dealing with your own demons or whatnot. So, yeah, Alistair, good freaking pick. Even though it's different because he's the one who induces that panic and fear, it still works. So, good job. Uh, I don't know how to explain this, but the 10 of blades here. I don't know how to explain it without giving it a spoiler, so we'll just say traditionally the 10 of swords is tomorrow's another day. The pain only lasts for so long. However, I feel like with this interpretation that they're doing, not quite. This almost is more like self sacrifice for a better tomorrow for everyone, which is fitting. So I'll just leave it at that. All right, now on to the final. I think this is the final. Is it the final? Yeah. Last 10, or no, it's more than 10. Last 14 cards. So we have the Alpha Vampire as the king of goblets or cups. And hope you guys can see that okay. Not that the lighting has changed as everything else has. Uh yeah. I don't know if this is good or not because there is a sophistication here, and it's a I'm better than you, and I'm in control, which is the King of Cups in my opinion at times. But this guy's a vampire. He's an alpha vampire, and I don't know. It's just hard to envision a vampire with emotions because when we look at cups, we're looking at water and emotions, and he's pretty emotionless, and it's like just do it. So questionable here, but cool looking. Our Queen of Cups, or goblets, if I can get it. The mother of Joe, Ellen. And Ellen is cool, calm. She knows what's up. She's always in control. She's usually always right, which is the queen. So, good choice. I agree with that. Garth as the Knight of Goblets, and I was thinking about this. I At first I was like, no, he doesn't fit. But then thinking about it, the Knight of Cups isn't the strongest. He's not the fastest, but he's probably the one who cares the most. And he will get that job done, even if in an unorthodox way. And it's a balance with cups as well. And Garth has that. So after thinking about it, yeah, he fits. It's fitting. So Garth as the Knight of Goblets, who would have thought? And he does become a little something of a knight himself. Becky as oops, sorry. Becky as the Page of Goblets. Uh, yeah, I don't agree with this. And I don't agree with this only because of Becky's character. The Page of Cups or Goblets usually it's being told to trust your intuition, being pointed in a certain direction. And it's pretty cool because, traditionally it's a cup with the fish in it pointing somewhere, and they have a little drink here and stuff. So it's pretty cool. But anyway, um, what was I saying, guys? Yeah, she's a nut and she's not listening to any intuition. She's impulsive and crazy. And yeah, this is not a good page of goblets. Messed up here. In fact, I don't even think Becky should be in the deck. So, think they messed up. All right. We have our ace of cups. And this is interesting because this is what's used between demons to communicate. A cup of blood. So, yes. And this is chance opportunity. Find out the information you need to get the job done. So, yeah. Rufus and Bobby as the two of cups or goblets, excuse me. Uh, I I get where they're coming from because these two are friends, but at the same time they became frenemies, sort of. Well, it was one-sided, but still, I don't I don't fully agree with this. But I do like how it's almost like a web behind them where they're entangled and they have to work together to get out and all that. And they work well together, but I don't think they're fitting for the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is, well, no, I take it back. Maybe that is because even though they may not be on good terms, they are coming to an agreement and working with one another. So, yeah, I guess from that point of view, yeah, it does work. Because I was going to say the Two of Cups is usually about coming together, meeting in the middle, having a truce. So, you know what? Yeah, they do fit. I take it back. I know nothing. Oops. Come on. Three of goblets here. Usually a celebration of some sort. Donatello, our four of goblets, eating a bucket of chicken. And this is sort of not really caring what's in front of you and just sort of losing yourself and pondering and missing out. So Donatello, he was a pretty fun character, but yeah, he got his bucket of chicken. I think that's chicken. Yeah, it's chicken. Anyway, yeah, he's fitting for the four. I think that's a good choice. The five of goblets, Gadriel, he was supposed to watch and protect the Garden of Eden, but he was distracted and Lucifer got in and corrupted mankind. So he's being punished. But our him as the Five of Cups, it works because this is crying over a mistake, over messing up, and not realizing you might have a chance to well, maybe not fix things, but do something different, learn from it. It's that type of thing. So yeah, he's fitting. Here's our six, our seven. Should I back this up? I probably should have. Our eight, Anna Milton, and she's from season four, I want to say. Anyway, she was a cool character. Oh my gosh, why is there a glare now? She was a cool character. Her being the eight of blade, or oh, good lord, the eight of cups. Uh, I don't know because our seven is about choices and trying to choose the right thing. And our eight is about walking away, sacrifice. And you know what? Maybe it does work because she did sacrifice her grace so she could be human, so she can live out a human life, that experience. So maybe it is fitting for her because I'm thinking about what happens after that, not before. So yeah, it can work. So her being the eight, yeah, it works. Okay. Our nine, and finally our 10 of goblets. And there we go, guys. That is the Supernatural Tarot deck. So, what do you think? I really like it. I think it's awesome. And I am going to very much love using it, but it's definitely something that will resonate with people more who are fans of the show versus people who are just trying to have a deck to read. I would say don't do that if you're unfamiliar with the show. If you've seen the show and you don't like it, stay away from this deck. I don't think it will work out very good for you. People who really enjoy the show, I think this deck, of course, it's for them and for collectors who like the show, but they may not be readers. It's a very readable deck when you know the characters and you can apply that knowledge to what comes out, which gives it a very unique spin to me. And I love how the cards feel. I like that it's thick. As you saw on a few of them, there's some smudges that show because of the material used, but that's okay. Just wipe it off and keep going. And I am, like I said, excited to use this when the time comes. So, with that said, thank you guys for watching. And this was longer than I thought. I guess I just need the yap. So, thank you again. And I will be seeing you next tarot flip through.